Hey guys, welcome back. Today on The Untidy Artist, we'll be making a December fairy doll. One of my goals for the new year is to do a fairy of the month, so this is going to be the first one to kick off that series. Let's grab some supplies and get started. I actually found the flowers for this fairy last year, and this is a fairy that I wanted to post last year, but was not able to finish. And so I was really excited to finally get these beautiful flowers out and start on this project. One of the reasons I love these flowers is the different textures you can see in the petals. One's kind of velvety, there's kind of a satiny one. And then I also loved the center of the flower. We're going to be using that to decorate our doll's skirt. So I just thought these were so beautiful and so elegant. I also found this gold flower. It is kind of almost like a fake leather, and I also loved the details on the different petals in this. And then we'll be using this white flower to create a ruffly slip underneath her skirt. I have these tiny white flowers that have a little bit of glitter on them. We'll be using these to decorate our doll. The thread colors I'll be using are kind of a turquoise that match the color of the skirt, and then this beautiful iridescent color that I found. And then I walked past these in the craft store this year and realized they absolutely matched the colors I wanted to do for this fairy, so I grabbed these. We'll be using those to decorate her skirt. I have a sharp pair of scissors and my trusty glue gun set on low. And then of course we have our fairy doll. If you're new to making fairies with me, you want to check out my basic fairy doll tutorial. In that, I show you how to take a piece of floral wire, a wooden bead, and some embroidery floss and twist it into this cute little doll. I will put a link for that video below. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is dress my doll. Once again, you'll find these instructions in more detail on the basic fairy doll tutorial. I gave her some little sleeves and a pair of shorts, and then I grabbed the turquoise and I'm going to put some around her waist and at the ends of both of her sleeves. And then I decided to give her a choker. So I'm going to use that same color, and I'm just going to wrap a tiny bit right around her neck. And this is what we have so far. Then I'm going to set her aside, and I'm going to pull apart my flowers. One important thing to do is when you're picking out flowers to make a fairy doll, make sure you find one that doesn't have a lot of glue holding the layers together. And I'm just pulling this completely apart, and I do this with all of my flowers. I'm going to save that middle part to decorate the doll with, so I just set that aside. And then I start layering together the petals. I actually spend quite a bit of time doing this part, just layering them together in different ways, and until I get the look that I'm going for and the layers in the order that I want them. So once I finish that, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut an X into the center of each petal. This allows us to put the petal up and around our doll's waist. So I do that with all of them, and then I start with the top layers and I start dressing my doll. So one at a time, and I kind of arrange these as I go. And you continue to do that with all of the layers. Now I haven't done the slip yet. I decided to wait and get this all situated before I did the white petals for the slip. So now I'm just taking my glue gun and I'm putting tiny dabs of glue between the layers and arranging the petals so that the dress lays nicely. And I spend a lot of time doing this part as well. Arranging the skirt and doing the hair are the most time-consuming parts when I make a fairy doll. So once I have it glued in the front and in the back, I'm going to take those white petals, cut an X into the center of each one, slide them up and around her waist, and once again layer those in a way that I like how it looks. And I was going for a ruffly, frilly slip underneath the skirt. And this is what we have. I loved that extra layer underneath. I just thought it added a lot more elegance to this doll. Now I'm going to do her shoes. The reason I waited to do this is sometimes it's hard to slide the petals up and around her waist if you've got more thread on her feet. So I just gave her shoes, and then I'm going to do her hair. Now, I always say this, but the hair is absolutely the hardest part. So take your time, make sure you're smoothing the thread as you go. I decided to give her a side twisty ponytail. So I just smoothed out the thread. I'm going to take my glue gun and put a tiny dab of glue on each side of her head and gently press the thread down. Remember to work slowly, smooth the hair as you go, and use tiny, tiny dabs of glue. So I secured it down on both sides, and now I'm going to take a little dab of glue and put it right on the back of her head. Smooth it down again. I'm going to take the thread, pull it to the side, and using some of that metallic thread, I'm going to tie it into a side ponytail, and I wrap it around a few times. And then we're going to give her a little haircut. So smooth out her hair, grab your scissors, and just trim off the very ends of her hair, and then separate it into two, smooth it out, and we're going to do a twisty ponytail. So I first twist both pieces to the right, and then I'm going to twist them in the opposite direction. So I twisted them both to the right, now I'm twisting both of those to the left. And then I'm going to grab my metallic thread and tie off the bottom. A really good tip I got from one of my followers was to use a Sharpie. That little white piece at the top of her hair, the wire, the floral wire, you can use a Sharpie to color that in so you don't see it. And then I'm grabbing my scissors again and trimming off the end of her braid. Now I'm going to set her aside. I'm going to grab the white petals and the center gold part of my flowers. I'm going to cut off some of the flowers and some of the gold pieces, and I'm going to start with the flowers, and I'm just going to kind of place them on her hair and decide where I want them. I play around with it a little bit. Once I have them arranged in a way that I like, I take my glue gun and secure those down with little dabs of glue. Now I'm going to grab the gold metallic sparkly beaded part of the center, and I'm going to add a little dab of glue and just start placing those around the base of the gold part of her skirt. I really loved this extra detail. I thought it added a lot more elegant bling to her dress and kind of tied everything together. And I also placed one of the little pieces of gold at her waist. You can see all of those beautiful little details. I love being able to use all the parts of the flower, so I was excited to be able to use the center part to really add to her dress. Now, my favorite part, I'm going to grab my cute little snowflakes and I'm going to start arranging them on her skirt. I don't glue them down right away. I play around with them for a little bit until I have them arranged in a way that I like. So I just take my time on this part and really get them arranged in a way that looks pretty. And then I'm going to grab my glue gun and add a little dab of glue to the back of each one and secure it down. And that's it, guys. We're all set. You have a December fairy doll. I loved the twist on the red and turquoise instead of your traditional red and green. I loved the gold. I absolutely love these sparkly little snowflakes and the flowers in her hair. She was a lot of fun to make. I'm really excited about the new year, and I have a lot of fun fairy doll ideas. If you have any ideas or requests, please post those in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. As I mentioned at the beginning, I will be doing a fairy of the month. So this is our first fairy that we're starting out with. Watch for January's fairy. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. That would be awesome. And if you're feeling a little social, go ahead and follow me on Instagram, where I'll be posting upcoming tutorials and different fun things that I'm planning on doing. Thanks you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.